Good morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So I thought I would show you this card. Hang on, I'm just going to bring it close so you can actually see it. So I woke up the other day and I sort of had this image on my mind of this checkered background and a plane flying across it. Don't ask me why, but I just thought, ooh, that sounds like a really good card, or seems like a really good card. I actually wanted to create something, so you can probably see on here that it looks a little bit battered and bashed and things, and that was what the sort of background that I wanted to create, was just something that looked old, pretty much. So I think I'm quite happy with that card. And I'm not going to show you how to make it. But I thought what I would do is I'd take a similar sort of background and show you how to create a chess card with perspective, because I haven't done perspective in a while, and I thought that it would be kind of interesting to go through it a little bit. So just so you know, with this card, I've used the Adventurous Sky. I haven't actually used the stamp set in it at all, but I do plan to put some sort of saying on it at some point. And I've used the Adventurous Sky dies with it. So that's what I've used on that one. I'm going to pop that over there. And then I had arrive. Where's it gone to? I had this set arrive, which is Latte Love. And I've been umming and ahhing about it because I've had the papers for a while, and I just thought, ooh, that looks kind of nice. So funnily enough, I saw this little pieces here. So I don't know if you can see them, but it produces little pieces like this. And I started thinking, oh, you could use those as a checkerboard. So that's what I'm going to teach you how to make today, is a checkerboard using that from the Latte Love, which is completely unrelated. So there we go. All right, I have worked out a whole heap of measurements, so hopefully if you have a go at this, you will also use these measurements. I will definitely put them onto my blog, but I'll just quickly tell you what I'm using. So I'm using a black and a white piece that is, oh, excuse me, 12 centimetres across and 9.2 centimetres up, high, whatever you want to call it. And then, okay, good. Oops, sorry, just knock you around there. And then we're actually going to create, as I say, I want to create a chessboard that looks like it's got perspective, or a checkers board that looks like it's got perspective. So what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to cut these in half. So as I say, I've cut it to 12 centimetres, so it's nice and easy. Half is 6 centimetres. So then we've got two halves like that. Then what I want to do is create a slant down both sides. So I actually want it so it's got 4 centimetres at the top. So what I'm going to do is, if you look at this, you can see that you can put one corner to the 4 centimetre mark, and then you can put the other corner to the edge here. So that will give you a slice that takes it, gives you 4 centimetres across the top, and it gives you the full length at the bottom. And I will just prove it. 4 centimetres there, and you've still got your 6 centimetres here. So that's good. That's what we wanted. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and I want 4 centimetres there. And hang on a minute, let's just make sure I'm going to be doing it the right way. You know, potentially you could just put it together if you get really confused with it, which is probably what I'm going to do. No, I'm not, because there's the 4 centimetre mark in the middle here. So perfect. So I can go with that 4 centimetre mark there and take it to there. Oh, just love this cutter. It is so convenient with just so many different things. So then now I should have a piece that looks like that. And I do. So, woohoo! Oh, I meant to say at the beginning of this, if you're watching this, it does mean that it worked. And if you're not watching it, then you're not watching it. That was handy, wasn't it? All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to create lines that go down the middle here. Now, do I do that one next or do I do that one next? No, the lines are going to have to come next, I think. So then what I want is I want 1.5 down the bottom here, but I only want 1 centimetre at the top here. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky in that I think I'm going to have to bring another marker in with me. So because I want it 1.5 there and I want it 1 centimetre there, 1.5, 1 centimetre, I should be good if I do it like that. And that did not cut through both sides, drat it. That was the plan, that it would cut through both pieces. Okay, this is going to irritate me. Let's just go with the scissors, I think. And of course it's black, you know, because I can't really see it. Okay, I'm going to pull that bit and just trim off the fluff. There we go. So that's my first slice. I'm going to put that to one side. So potentially by doing this, you're actually going to be making 2 cards out of 1. And that will become apparent eventually. So I just need to go 1.5 centimetres, 1 centimetre, and we need to pop that back onto there. And this time I need to hold it down properly. That is so much better. Mm, 1 centimetre and 1.5. So trying to keep them in the right order. Yep. And I've realised that my 1 centimetre kind of does need to be nearer this end, because otherwise it gets wider and wider as it goes down, which was probably not very clever of me. But there you go. You know, you live and learn. Yep, that worked. 1 centimetre. And then we've got the 1 centimetre mark again, and the 1.5 centimetre mark. Oh, that feels like it's the wrong way around. That's why. And last cut on this one is... Actually, I wonder if it would have been easier to do it like that. So I have that part of 1 centimetre mark and then this part of the... Potentially. There we go. So that has cut my slanty bits. Then I now need to... Give me just a moment. So what I recommend that you do, having just had a bit of a fiddle about with it, is add some sellotape to the back of it once you've got them so that they are like that. And hey, how cool is that for a pedestrian crossing? obviously got more than one bonus. So let me just show you what I did with that one. So I just literally lined up these pieces. That's why it's kind of important to keep them in the order that you cut them in, because otherwise it's quite difficult to work out which one goes where. Oh, come on. Let's just persuade these into place. Come on. And that one. Right. So, as I say, maybe even a one in the middle, just to make sure that they stay all together once you've got them to that point, and then you can just trim off these end pieces. Oops, great. And the same on this side. And actually, these are kind of cute. I'm having kind of more fun with this than I thought I would, really. Anyway, this is not actually getting us to where we need to be. So to create the chessboard, we're now going to start... actually, you know what I need to do is I actually need to put a little bit more, I think, just trying to work out... because, no, I do need both pieces, don't I? That's right. Okay. Yes. I know what I'm doing. Haha. All right. So you actually need to tape up the whole of the back of it, not just part of it, because we're going to be cutting them up and we don't really want them all falling apart. I don't think I need to, but yeah, I'll just get that done in silence. All right. So now that I have, I've still got some on there. No, I don't. So now I've taped the back of them up completely. So once I cut them across, they're not going to all fall apart, which is what I kind of want. So now what I'm going to do is turn my cutting board around, and I actually want to cut these so they are 1.5 centimeters. So pretty much with a chessboard or a checkers board, there are 64 squares, which means that it's 8 by 8. So we need it to be 8, which we have done this way. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And we need it to be 8 this way. But when you do perspective, the blocks at the bottom are larger than the blocks at the top. So I have worked out that if I start off with a 1.5 centimeters, so I wonder if I go this way with it. Might not be able to cut them together. 1.5 centimeters. You know, I feel like the bottom needs to be trimmed slightly. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, right, round 2, 1.5 centimeters. Might even re-establish my this way round, maybe. Yeah. Get to grips with it, Heather. My goodness. What I need is a ruler that's just marginally shorter than this. I wonder if this one is. Oh, look at that. There we go. That's what I actually want. 1.5 centimeters. It needs to go there. Let's go to there. And then should be good to cut 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so that is my bottom row. Then we have 1.5. So what I've then done is I've reduced it by 1 millimeter. So 1.5, we then go to 1.4. And this is not an ideal ruler at all, actually. For some reason, it's not lying at all flat on here. 1.4, excuse my head if it's getting in the way. 1.4. Then 1.3. 1.3, 1.2, so then 2 and 1.1, almost about there. Let's level it up. What I'm going to do is eyeball it to that line at the moment. Oops. And that moved. Excellent. Hang on, because this is going to be one of those ones that gets my head in the shot otherwise. One. Thanks. That feels like it's skewed out. So I'm not sure whether that's actually in the shot, what I've done there. But so that is cut like that for now. And I'm going to just move it out of the shot for the time being, keeping it in the same order as it's in. And I'm going to cut the other one up because this one will have the squares in different places. So I will do that, and I will probably speed the camera up because I'm pretty sure you don't want to see me doing this. It's not that exciting. So now that I've got them both cut like this, I should be able to layer them onto this cardstock and create my chessboard. So here goes. Have Tombow glue, will travel, as they say. So what I've got to remember to do is pick the next one up. Oh, wow. From the line so that it goes up. So let's just... Oh. Okay, I may not have cut those quite as well as I could have done, but never mind. Let's just move that one over to buddy up with that one. Come on, we can do this. Oh, it's working. Okay, so then is that, nope, nope. This is the next one I need. Probably help if my Tombow wasn't running out. Oh no, that isn't quite joining up as well as it could. You know why that's not joining up as well as it could? Because it's not the right one. I'm feeling like it's the wrong one. Now, why am I feeling like it's the wrong one? Okay, maybe it's because it should have been this one. Nope. No, that does feel like it's the right one. Why is that? Oh no, it's not the same as the ones up. I actually have no idea how that one has ended up slightly out of sync, but it has, which is kind of annoying. Is that one next? Nope, nope, it's not that one next. Must be. Oh! Yeah. Okay, so I have discovered that I was out there and a little tiny bit out here as well, but I think it's going to be fine because I'm going to just chuck those all to one side for the time being, and we are going to trim up this so that it just works. A little bit more off it than that, I think. There we go, that's better. And better do the same on the other side. So we'll just take off slightly more than it looks like we need to, and that works. Okay, so that was kind of what I was hoping to produce, was something like that, that it looks like it's a chessboard as you're sort of like looking down on it from one side. And then my idea was that, I'm hoping this works, that some of these little guys would be sitting on these, and not quite. Come on. Yeah. I'm not convinced that's actually working, so I might find something else to put onto that. Anyway, you get the picture. The idea was to introduce you into the perspective of being able to actually create something like this, like a chessboard that sort of is going off into the distance. You've got your right amount of squares on it, although potentially you could sort of have cut it off there and just had half the chessboard showing and the rest is potentially off the end of the card if you really stuffed up with it badly. Yeah, so what I might do is find something else that that does work for it, because I'm not convinced that sadly these little pieces are working for it. I feel like the ovals need to be slightly wider than that. So I might go in search of some ovals that are a little bit more less flattened, I think is the word I'm looking for. And I could come back to the video and show you what I find, or pop along to my blog and check out what I do actually find. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay, bye. So I'm just hopping back on briefly to show you how I finished off these two cards. So actually this was the first card, and I did end up using those little tiny ovals, but what I did was I stacked them, and I actually discovered that by stacking them they actually ended up looking a little bit more solid, I guess is the word I'm after. And then I discovered, I haven't played checkers in ages, I discovered that in fact they all sit on the blacks, so blacks don't show up terribly well on the black, but you know, in person you can actually see they're there. And then I remembered that they actually get stacked once they've captured someone else, as it were. So so we have got a couple of little stackers, and yeah, and I, bit tongue-in-cheek, hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow. That was from the Unbounded Love stamp set. So yeah, I just thought I would show you that one. And then the other one I picked out, I couldn't be bothered to do any more of the little tiny things, so this time I just figured we can have a clean slate, and congratulations because they won. So I've actually done a little drawer underneath, which again doesn't show up quite as well as I had hoped. I probably should have just added a bit of ink around the edges to make the drawer stand out. I may well take it off and do that actually. And this time I've used the sweetly scripted even words, just to get that nice long word going across there. And I did it as a square card just because this was actually a bit too big for a normal card by the time I'd finished making it. So if you do want the measurements, should you happen to want to have a go at it, hop along to my blog, and I have put all the measurements out there. Ooh, let's just refocus there, shall we? That's better. And come and join me next week, and we will do something slightly less complicated next week, I think. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye.